AKA Patters, this has been the worst week in comic book history. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, my AKA Patters here, Peter A. DeLuca here, AKA Pad69, and say it with me, known through Philadelphia, PA, and the multiverse as the Eclectic One. We had a rough weekend, guys, bro weekend. Did a lot of things, drank a lot of alcohol, essentially drank alcohol and from early Friday all the way into Monday morning because came back into the city yesterday, had to go out for some birthday festivities. Not my birthday, by the way. I don't like celebrating my birthday. Who wants to celebrate my birthday? But you! I will celebrate the SHIT out of your birthday. I love it so much. So I just want to get into this. I'm sorry about not dropping this earlier. Now, keep in mind, we're marching into this European vacation of mine. So in the podcast, we're dropping an episode every other day. And for the AKA Patters on YouTube, we are going to work so hard to do a video drop every single day, even while I'm on vacation, going into my return to this great country, the US of A. Let's get into it. American Institution comic books. You guys read the headline. You saw the thumbnail. This is the worst week in American comic book history. And it brings me back to a time in the 90s when I just remember reading, like my grandmother gave me this article and probably the Philadelphia Inquirer, because we got the Inquirer and we got the Courier Post, but it was probably the Inquirer because they had a bigger business section and more of a like international newspaper. But no, she gave me this article, and it was an article about Marvel going bankrupt. They're going to maybe potentially sell the rights off, and the company was going to just it was just like sad. And I was like a young dude like reading this, and I just remember like just the pit of my stomach when I realized that like nothing holds these characters together. Like nothing but almost like a giant honor system holds continuity, timelines, and just like a line of books and characters that you want to integrate together. It's really like an honor system. And like that didn't quite work out that way. There is a book called Comic Book Wars that really details a lot of this time. Please go check that out. But that kind of transitions right into Heroes Reborn, and how, again, pit in my stomach that they were renumbering Captain America, Avengers, Fantastic Four. The renumbering for Heroes Reborn, I could not wrap my head around it. And that's really why I view that Onslaught really did end the Marvel continuity that was created with Stan Lee and co. Now, equally, I look at Flashpoint for DC Comics from going, Crisis of Infinity Earths, all the way into Flashpoint, and when they did New 52, how much of a betrayal. And this is one of the reasons it's hard for me to back anything that Jim Lee does at all at DC, because you cannot sign off on renumbering anything that DC had at the time, especially Action Comics and Detective Comics. And I don't care about the retcon renumbering and let's just renumber or start numbering again at issue 1000 or 900. That's just pathetic. I'm sorry, Charlie. But no, this past week, we had a complete fall and crumbling of the internal comic book narrative. I say internal because like it's really what's on the page of the Punisher. The Punisher now is no longer a viable comic book character. We can say that the SJWs, the progressives, the activists within Marvel Comics have won. They have the scalp of the Punisher, and no one voted by this, by the way. Like, by that I mean like no one voted by their dollars. This was just something forced. But speaking of voting by the dollar, and so many of you guys, I know you guys love, I don't know why, Miles Morales skipping into the multiverse, the Spider-Verse. That movie, look, everything I saw on social media for Across the Spider-Verse is what I was hoping to really see for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Quantumania. It's great to see people like excited, voting by their dollar, voting even by their attention and time it takes to even make a post like that. But what happened this past weekend with that glorious money, that glorious nut that Miles Morales made, he is the Spider-Man. There will be a generation of children who grow up that will insist that there's only one Spider-Man and it is Miles Morales. Let that sink in. Because look, realistically speaking, Andrew Garfield didn't hit it home, even though I love those two movies. The other guy from, Avengers Endgame and Marvel, that dude, I guess the MCU Spider-Man kid boy, didn't hit it home. And the reason why he didn't hit it home, the MCU, the Marvel Studios, in their infinite wisdom, blew 3 movies, multiple film appearances on a Peter Parker that didn't echo anything of the characteristics that we like within Peter Parker, other than him being a science nerd. But all the other Spider-Man elements, they basically turned Spider-Man into a sidekick of Iron Man. But whatever. So Miles Morales is the Spider-Man. Moving forward and forever, we have, I say we, I just mean like the people that I grew up reading Peter Parker. There is zero ground for Peter Parker to gain, because even what's happening right now in the comics, they are demasculating Peter Parker. Peter Parker now he's a simp, he's a wimp. They're not doing anything worthy of Peter Parker and Spider-Man within the comic. They're already bringing back Superior Spider-Man. What a freaking joke. So, no Spider-Man in the books, no Punisher in the books, and they are being set up to be completely written out, period. And the only individuals that are going to honor who and what the Punisher is, and who and what Peter Parker and Spider-Man is, it's us, aka Padders. It's a sad day. It's a sad week. I don't know. I just feel like a little bummed out. Let me know what you think down below. Subscribe, support. Give me a thumbs up. I love you guys.